Whoever been in his cell when I find out, and he snapping, he kirking out on the dope. And his reaction was so genuine that it led me to believe like he ain't had nothing to do with it. If he knew who done it, he already know who to go holler at when the doors open.
I want to get right to the day of them, of course, coming to lock you up for the last one to put the RICO on you. Did you know there was smoke on you at the time? Did you have a gang? I mean, I'm sure you had a file, but did you know there was smoke coming down on you?
I had reason to believe that there was smoke. You dig what I'm saying? I didn't understand where the fire was coming from or what the fire was, but I was able to sense certain things going on around me that I understood that something was happening. Yeah.
Is this through your partners, some people you know, or through law enforcement directly?
This deep right here. So let me put it to you like this, right? As far as when they come to that direct case, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot I got to say about that direct case, right? I'd rather focus on these little prison stories for the moment.
All right, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that because man, we can go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it may lead to that though. See that right there deep. I'm still in contact with my co-defendants. You know, I talk to them every single day on a regular, and it is a story that need to be told. You dig what I'm saying? It's a proper way to go about really getting into the weeds on that. But I talk about certain things that's out there in the public. I clear up certain things about that shit. But to get deep into that, we gonna have to establish some shit for that.
Definitely understandable. All right, well, let's get to it. You know, when we talk about the win, you know, and thank you for telling us as far as the time you went in. Where did you do your time at?
In the state of Virginia, you got I did most of my time in the mountains, man. You got this one prison that they can look it up, man. It's called Red Onion State Prison. They got documentaries on this shit. You dig what I'm saying? It's a supermax prison. I did most of my time there. Then it's twin supermax, Wallace Ridge, and that Cessus too, another maximum security prison. I did all my time there in the state.
As far as getting prepared to do that time, you know, in the max, were you prepared? Who prepared you? Normally you go through county first and then you kind of
ain't nobody prepared for that shit right there. See, so let me break it down to you a little bit, right? So I'm at the time and shit, I had just been charged as an adult for a carjacking, abduction, and robbery. And I took that shit to trial and I spanked that shit. So I get out, and when I get out, my mom Duke's in prison, my pop's in prison. So I ain't really got nowhere to go. You dig what I'm saying? So in that little time period that I was out there, I'm terrorizing the community. Just to keep it one, I'm terrorizing the community. So they snatched me up. Now I'm in the state system. I'm facing all these goddamn these shots. I got like 12, 13 goddamn felonies in 2 different cities and shit. So in the jail, you know, it's a lot of fighting and shit going on inside my jail. You just got to bear the wrecking shit. So I'm prepared, you know, I'm fighting my ass off in this jail. But once I get to my state system, they sent me to a joint called Southampton Receiving. And that at the time was for basically people between the ages of like 15 to 25, all young niggas. And it's a reception center that they send you to prepare you before they send you off to whatever your destination gonna be, whatever prison you're gonna be posted up at. So while I'm there, I'm only there for 3 days, and somebody run inside my cell, steal shit out my locker and shit. 4th day, I figure out who done it. 5th day, I fixed his ass. Catch another straight some more time, catch another straight state charge. And after that was complete, they sent me up to Red Onion. That's when I start my bid at the Supermax and shit. You dig what I'm saying? So I had to get all that out of the way just to even tell you how a nigga even got, because the story in Red Onion. You dig what I'm saying? But it was a lot of shit that came before Red. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where to start with you, man.
Well, we're gonna jump around in this. Hold on, wait. Somebody ran up in your cell, 3 days in.
Yeah.
Cold shit.
The jail that I'm coming at the time from a jail called Fairfax. I'm on Fairfax, adult detention center in Fairfax. So we had one of those jails that was at least for that area that will allow us to get freak books in, full penetration freak books. And that's like a rarity, and that's valuable inside the state system.
Not for
But we
real.
didn't understand its value. Everybody get that. We was allowed to have it in the jail. So when I get on this bus and they taking me down here to Southampton, when you first get there, at the time when I'm in the state, you weren't allowed to have hair that was over like a quarter inch high. So everybody got to go through the barbershop and cut their hair off. So while I'm in the barbershop, one of the guys is cutting my hair. They peep my property and can see that I'm coming from Fairfax. They already know. When you get there, they know what jail you coming from. They already know all this shit. So he know I'm coming from Fairfax. So as he cutting my hair, he asked me straight up, did I have any of them type magazines? So I let him know I got 15 of them in the cut. And he letting me know that's gold, but they gonna take it from me. So he letting me know he already know what wing or what cell I'm going to. We in the same wing. And that if he'll go ahead and smuggle it in if I give him one. So I go for it. You dig what I'm saying? That's a good deal.
Yeah.
So we do that. So when I get back to my wing and shit later on that night, true to his word, he bring me my magazines. I let him choose which one he want. He take it. So once he take it, the word is out. He going around and he's selling pages and shit, and he's showing people. So everybody know that there's a new dude on a block who got these magazines. I still don't know his value. I still don't know his worth at the time. So you got dudes I don't know who just pulling up on my cell asking me, do I got these magazines? And me just being a street nigga off the gate, I'm just letting niggas like, I don't know what they talking about. I don't know what magazines. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. You dig what I'm saying? Off the gate until I can figure out what's going on. What's the market? I don't know what's going on. So I'm just off the gate trying to get the heat up off me. I don't have shit. You dig what I'm saying? Slim didn't have no business even going around putting my business out there like he did, but he done it. So so uh over time, by the second day I'm there, you dig what I'm saying? I'm sitting inside my cell and my cellie is looking at one of the magazines. And the way the cells is designed, the dudes in the cell from across to me can look from just laying inside their bed. They can look over and see us inside our bunk. So they been there for a while. They been here longer than me. So they see my celly with the magazine and they making statements about how nice it must be to better sit back and lay on these magazines. So people making statements about my magazines. I'm peeping all this shit. So goddamn, but I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody in this bitch. So by the third day, now I'm ready to slide out here a little bit. So my celly, he knows somebody from Bad News and shit that he know that might be interested in these magazines. So when I go to Slim, I go to give him one, and I'm just trying to get a starter kit. So I'm asking the nigga for like, I think I paid like $4 for the magazine. So I'm like, shit, give me $20 for this shit and food. So when I come like that, he opened up the locker and give me like $100 worth of food and let me know don't play myself that I can let each one of these pages go for about $10. And they got about 200 pages in it. So now I'm understanding what I'm sitting on. So I gave him goddamn that was a good look. You dig what I'm saying? So I go back to my cell and I know what I got now. So now I'm understanding why everybody trying to figure out who the fuck got these magazines. It's a drought on this bitch, and these little horny ass niggas trying to get to these magazines. So once that take place, my celly, he work in the kitchen. So he gone every day. So being that I'm new, they got this orientation type shit you got to go through. So now it's my first day I'm going to orientation class. Ain't nobody in my cell. My celly at work, I'm in class. When I come back and we release from that shit, the new guys, as I'm walking back, my cell door is wide open. So I knew immediately. I already knew. Soon as I seen the door wide open, I already knew. But at the time, I'm 18 years old, and with the mentality I got at that time, I got excited. I couldn't wait for a nigga to try me, man. I couldn't wait for a nigga to try me. Just from the the stories that the old heads put inside your head when you in the jail, preparing yourself to go down the road. You know, they don't tell you the consequences that come with this shit, but I got it in my head that I'm finna leave my stamp from the gate just so I can have peace the rest of my bid. This how I'm looking at it. So I'm excited by this shit. I can't wait to put on a demonstration in my mind so niggas will leave me the fuck alone the rest of my bid. This is my mind state at the time.
Sure.
So I go on back to the cell. When I go to the cell, the first thing I recognize is that my cell, my locker open, everything left in there but the magazines. You know, all the magazines gone. You did.
Yeah.
Uh, I go in the joint. I noticed that my celly shit is still there. So you know, me and my celly, we weren't social in the cell. That just how that's it ain't like it don't go like that in my state system. Like we wasn't even social in that cell. We from two different regions and shit. So we don't do too much rapping. So I don't have no relationship or no bond with Slim. So when I see that his shit still there, my shit gone, he don't even know this either. He don't even know this. But the first thing I do, because I got to know what's up. So I go inside his locker, which is a no-no. And he got little pictures taped on the inside of his locker door. I take his little freak pictures down, flush them down the toilet. I'll take some of his commissary. I don't even want that shit. I'm just opening up bags of chips and shit and flushing that shit down the toilet, right? And then I close his locker door and I chill. I just chill. I'm in the cell now. We locked down. I'm in the cell. My celly come back from work. I don't say shit. I just lay in the bunk and I just need to see his reaction. Cause if he got anything to do with this, I'm stretching him first. That's my mind state. So I'm watching his reaction. He come in, get himself together from work. You know, he talking, he laughing. He don't seem to know nothing is different. He opened up his locker door a few times. He still don't notice nothing is different. So at some point, he go back in his locker and recognize something missing. So now he trying to figure out what the fuck. And I see him looking all through his locker. So in my head, I'm recognizing this where everything begins at. I'm still just sitting patient, reading the book. Like I don't know what's going on. So he looking through his locker and now he looking at me like, hey man, you got anything missing, bro? And I'm telling him, nah, I'm good. Why was up? And he was like, nah, man, nah, I got some shit missing. So he go to the door and immediately start yelling out the door. Goddamn, whoever been in this cell when I find out, and he snapping, he kirking out on the door. And his reaction was so genuine that it led me to believe like he ain't had nothing to do with it. If he knew who done it, he already know who to go holler at when the doors open. The fact he reacting this way, I know he ain't in on it, at least in my head. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
So I open up and tell him, man, nah, man, niggas hit me for all my magazines and shit. So now he all fucked up. He like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah. So I told him what I did. You know, I let him know. I had to know you weren't in on the type shit. You dig what I'm saying? I replaced that shit, man. But hey, I need to know who did this shit type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Slim, his mind stayed different from mine's at the time. So he trying to find somebody to fight. I'm trying to find somebody to put a demonstration on. So when I remember when I was first coming in here, walking down to my cell when they first bring you in with your property, that it was guys sticking out these pieces of plexiglass out the door. They was using like little, they call them a third eye. That they use like mirrors and shit out the bars so they can see who coming down the hallway. And my celly owned one. So I'm asking them at the time, hey man, let me get that jump. And he ain't trying to give it up. He ain't trying to give it to me so I can do what I need to do with it for whatever reason. But I think he think I'm bullshitting anyway. So I go about my business by the fourth day. I find out who done it. We locked inside the cell together. And like I told you, you look at the bars and you can see the cell from across from you. And you can see into their cell. And it was a nigga outside the cell bars holding one of my magazines open. Nah, reverse that. It was a nigga inside the cell with the magazine open, showing it to the nigga that was standing outside the bars, page by page, showing him the inside of my magazine. When I look over there, they see me, my celly looking out the joint with the little third eye. He looking over there. He the one caught my attention to it. He called me to the door, and he telling me to act like I'm not really looking, act like I'm looking down the hallway, but the peep what's going on. I just go to the door and just straight look over there. And when I look, I peep it. So the nigga that's standing in the hallway, he see me looking, so he try to cover it up right quick. But the nigga behind the door is on some man. I don't give a fuck that nigga, and he just keeps showing it to him. So I just pulled back off the door and shit. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, me and my celly, we jog on wreck if he don't give me that piece of plexiglass. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm making my little joint up. You know what I'm saying? And the next day we go on the child and shit. And dude from Norfolk and shit, the nigga that got me from Norfolk, Slim So them niggas deep as shit. They deep as shit in my motherfucking in my state system, man. Tidewater niggas, man. So uh everywhere he walking back and forth to child, he deep as shit. I'm by myself. So when I go sit with them today at the child table and shit. So while I'm sitting with them, they not paying attention to the fact that, you know, I'm right-handed, but I'm eating the entire time with my left hand. I'm nervous. But I got the blicky in my right hand inside my sweatsuit, inside my pocket and shit. So I'm just nervous though on the low. But I'm eating with them and shit. And they notice I'm sitting here eating with them. And when I notice the nervous glances, I start talking to them like I'm a clown and shit. Hey man, when do they be having rec and this and that, this and that? And I'm just acting like I'm just green and shit. And they know that I know that he got my shit. So I guess they thought I was green. So they go for it. When the lieutenant called us to get up from the table and shit, I allowed them to walk a little bit ahead of me. And I started to walk slightly behind them. Soon as we leave out the child hall and go into the little dormitory that connects to the hallway to where we live at, I put that work in. You know what I'm saying?